Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome back. It is episode number 16 of the Newcastle United career mode. Well, the treble dreams have now gone, and I certainly did not expect that. Yep, we're coming on the back of our first loss in a while, as we went to Wembley for a repeat of last year's FA Cup final in the Final Four, and Wolves got their revenge. I did not see it coming. Yep, we beat Wolves in the final last year for our first major honour since 1955 by a goal to 0 in the final. This time around, Wolves were not prepared to lose twice at Wembley. Yep, a 3-2 loss means our treble dreams have now died. And if we're to win a double, well, we'll need to go all the way in the Champions League. Because we know the Premier League is basically wrapped up now. We just need 2 wins in our final 5 to confirm it. But in the Champions League, drawn against Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone's side as Napoli face Real Madrid in the other tie. Well, Atletico are in a very similar position to us right now in the league. They are just 2 wins away from 5 from winning the title themselves. Or was it 3 wins from 5? Well, even so, we're basically both third favourites to win our respective divisions in Spain and England. So, first leg of the Champions League semi-final. Furthest Newcastle have ever got in this competition. So it's been a success regardless for me this year. I wanted to go further than last year where we got to the last 16, before being knocked off by Real Madrid. I said this year minimum semi-final, but hopefully final. So taking on Atletico Madrid, still a success regardless, but we still had a chance at a double. And heading into the game, it looked as though after our treble dreams had just died, our double dreams are going to die in Spain as well. The worst possible start. 14 minutes in, Memphis makes it 1-0. Atletico in front. And after our treble dreams were ended, our double dreams were rapidly fading before our very eyes. We're down by a goal at Metropolitano, and Atletico have the lead. 20 minutes in, great save by Jan Oblak, keeps it at 1-0 from 25 yards. Oh, it's a bullet from Alexander Isak. What a goal from the big Swede. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, this season I've scored so many really nice goals. This one is up there. CL semi-final, down by a goal. Isak with massive effort, I'll do it myself vibes here. Takes it from, again, 23-24 yards. Bangs one out, top bins. No chance for Jan Oblak. And Newcastle find their level of courtesy of their top scorer this year. So it's 1-1. We're back on level terms. Now 11 minutes to go before the break. A chance to get in front for the first time. Oh, absolutely blew this. I'll be honest with you, my thumb slipped off the circle button. That's why there was so little shot power behind that. But Oblak makes a save regardless. Denies to Maximin, and it's still 1-1. Then before the break, Atletico come forward, looking to get back in front for the second time in the game. Memphis looking for his brace, hits the crossbar, and eventually trips, gets it away. So at the break, it was 1-1, but it was a brilliant first half. It could be any scoreline you want, but we were both tied. Second half begins on the hour mark. Atletico looking to restore their lead here. I give the ball away stupidly, and Mac Allister plays a 1-2 with João Felix, and Nick Pope produces a brilliant save to keep it at 1-1. And then it was just end to end at this point in the game. It was just constant barrage of attacks from both teams. And Jan Oblak says to Nick Pope, anything you can do, I can do better. Another great save, it's still 1-1. And then Atletico come up the other end. Midfield, never heard of it. It's just attack versus defence. Felix rolls it across, Memphis goes through, and then Pope says to Oblak, anything you can do, I can do better. It's still 1-1. Both goalkeepers putting on a masterclass, and we are level at the Metropolitano. Heading into stoppage time, the final chance falls to Joelinton! And Newcastle win it at the death, and Joelinton, fan favourite, gives us the winner in a brilliant game in Madrid. And oh, what a game, what a game. Presnel Kimpembe can't believe it. Joelinton steals it, and Newcastle win it with the final kick of the first leg. That was amazing, and I have said this before and I'll say it again, but these are the games of FIFA I absolutely love. End to end, action packed, chance after chance, late drama, so tough, so tense, and a late twist as well, and one that falls in our favour. Yep, Isak holds the ball up really well from the tight angle there, rolls it to Joelinton in space, says, go on mate, I know you can finish. Steve Bruce might not have believed in you, but I do. And he finds the top, well that's a bit unfair on Steve Bruce really, but even so, he finds the top corner, and Newcastle United win. a thriller, an absolute thriller of a foot. That was amazing, honestly, absolutely amazing game. That's so enjoyable to play. And I said just a moment ago that those are the games that are just absolute class. Yeah, it's great when you win 4 or 5-0 and you dominate. It's a great sign of power, if you will. But it's much better when you have a game like that. Oh, it just feels so much more rewarding, do you know what I mean? And we're 90 minutes away from our first ever Champions League final. Following game, though, we've still got a job to do. Weekend, welcoming Thomas Frank's Brentford heading into the game here. Yet we took the lead early in this game through Sandro Tonali's third goal of the season. Didn't score even one time last season, but now he's got 3 goals this year as he makes it 1-0. Lovely assist by Sir Maximin as well, though, with a fake Rabona and the flick into the middle. So, yeah, Newcastle in front. We know we're 2 wins away from the title now, looking to get the first of which here against Brentford. Thomas Frank's side would find a late loader, though, with 12 minutes to go. Aaron Hickey, the Scottish fullback, finding the equalising goal, and in 87th minute here, still tied at 1-1, looking for a late winner. Wouldn't you just know it, he's done it once again. Mr. Clutch himself, Callum Wilson, heads in a corner and gives us the first of the 2 wins we need to win the title. Yeah, we know it's basically done now, but we want to get it secured as soon as possible. Wilson says we'll get the first of the wins we need here. Yeah, Callum Wilson, 7th in 14 games. What a season this guy has had as a backup striker. Heads in the game winner later on. Not for the first time I've said that sentence this season, and Newcastle United win it at the death. So, yeah, 1 of the 2 wins we needed to win the title, but following out midweek, Wednesday night, turn your focus back to Europe. Champions League. We remain at St James's, but now welcome Atletico Madrid. Champions League semi-final, second leg. And listen, we won the first leg by 1 goal, but because of how open it was, it could have gone either way. So second leg begins, and I knew we need to tighten up. We couldn't rely on Nick Pope once again to bail me out constantly. I needed to tighten my defence up. 6 minutes into the second leg, with Atletico needing to score tonight, Memphis finds Rodrigo de Paul, who finds the back of the net. Picks the ball up, no celebration. He says, right, let's turn this game on its head and make it through to the final. What was that about, tightening up? Yeah, 5 minutes in, I'm already down by a goal. So it's 2-2 on aggregate and 1-0 down on the night. 13 minutes in, we have a free kick. Trips stands over it. Oh, did it cross the line? The referee says no people on the watch. Play continues. Diaby goes for goal. And All Black pushes it behind for a corner. Free kick gets the underside of the bar. And look at that. It's so close, but it is the right call. It doesn't cross the line. It bounces down on the goal line. He beats All Black, but he can't put the ball into the back of the net from the corner. Alexander Isak says, don't worry about it, skipper. I'll find the back of the net with the acrobatic effort. And All Black gets a touch, but he can't keep it out. Newcastle find a leveller, and we're back in front on aggregate. Newcastle 1, Atletico 1 on the night, and 22 minutes in. Oh, Joel Linton so close to scoring in both legs. Fires just wide, still 1-1. 9 minutes to go before the break though, and despite conceding early, we'd turned the game on its head. We'd been the better team. We were looking for that goal to get in front for the first time on the night, turn the game on its head, and give us a 2-goal cushion in the tie. And wouldn't you just know it, it is Alexander Isak that delivers it. Lovely little build-up, and Isak with the finish makes it 2-1 on the night, 4-2 on aggregate, and 43 minutes in. Oh, it was so close to being game and tie over. All Black makes a brilliant save on Diaby. Turns his chip onto the top of the crossbar and behind for a corner. So it's still 2-1. We're still in front and we still have a 2-goal lead on aggregate. But in the second half as it began, I was thinking, right, Atletico have already shown me how good they are going forward. I need another goal. I need to wrap this up in the second half. Get it done early if I can. And Joel Linton, who went close in the first half, this time finishes in the second. Practically right from kickoff, Atletico get the ball away. We go on the offensive, and Joel Linton gets his second in 2 legs, makes it 3-1 Newcastle. We have a 3-goal lead. And I almost scored a halfway line goal. How close was that? How close was that to my first halfway line goal since FIFA 14. I might not have got it, But I have got what I really wanted, which is a place in the Champions League final. 5-2 over 2 legs. Newcastle are heading to their Champions League final after a thrilling tie against Atletico Madrid. But we're not taking on Real Madrid, no, we're taking on Napoli. Napoli won the semi-final tie against Real Madrid and are through to the Champions League finals. It will not be Real Madrid. We won't have a chance to get revenge on the side knocked out last year, but we'll take on last year's in real life big Serie A winners and Champions League quarter-finalists, Napoli in the Champions League final, and it won't be much easier, no doubt about that. What a great season they had last year. But anyway, heading into the following game, Aston Villa away at Villa Park. No, we're one win away from the Premier League title. We can get it done here at Villa Park. Heading into this game, Luis Muriel, going for the golden boot, had other ideas. Opens to scoring, and then Jadon Sancho, the former Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund man, makes it 2. So this wasn't in the script. Yep, that was me thinking we're going to win the title and celebrate here at Villa Park. Unai Emery said, I don't think so, because don't forget we're going for a Champions League place, so we got so much at stake ourselves here. We're down early by 2-0. Emi Martinez makes a great save here 34 minutes in, as we're still trailing by 2 goals, desperate to get back in the game and get that win we need. And whilst Isak would head in the following corner from Moussa Diaby and then get stuck in the net to make it 2-1, sadly we couldn't build on that goal and find a leveller. Final score at Villa Park, big win for Unai Emery's side. They go for a top 4 place and we taste defeat. Yep, 2-1, and Aston Villa get the win as they keep their Champions League hopes alive. But we know we only need the 1 win. So like 1 win from 4, let's be honest here, we might have had our undefeated run there ended by Aston Villa in the Premier League, but it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. We've still got 3 more chances, and surely we should be able to get it done. And maybe in the following game. Yep, following game, Wolves away, Molineux looking for revenge after they ended our treble dreams by beating us in the FA Cup semi-final. Taking on Wolves away at Molineux. First hour, nothing going on. With 64 minutes in, I rewarded him with a start in this game. But you know this guy only really plays in the final 20 minutes or so. Callum Wilson, 63 minutes into the game. Got to start but said, Gaffer, why? Like, when have you ever seen me score in the first half? My nickname's Clutch, not early. Callum Wilson gets his 8th of the season and makes it 1-0. We're in front in the second half, and then with 14 minutes to go, looking to wrap it up, it would be Mr. Clutch who provides the dagger. Joel Linton, who's been so good for me in recent weeks, rolls it across, and there is our number 9 to convert from close range and wrap up the win and the title as well. Wolves 0, Newcastle 2, and that would do it. Wolves, to their credit though, I mean, every time I face Wolves is a tough game. I said before, they are a bit of a bogey team for me. They would get a goal back in the 91st minute, but Logan was like, we're not going to let you win the title here on our ground. But I said, there's not enough time, mate. There's not enough time. So, yep, directly from kickoff, basically, the referee blows full time, and that would do it. Final score, Wolves 1, Newcastle 2. We lose the clean sheet, but win the game. We get our revenge on Wolves after they knocked us out of the semis in the FA Cup and ended our treble dreams. And most crucially, we wrap it up. Premier League 1 at Molineux, and that will do it. One of possibly 2 trophies won. And whilst it was this team that ended our treble dreams, our double dreams now remain firmly alive. 1 down, 1 to go. Premier League in the bag, and it's Newcastle's first Premier League in history. We now go 8 clear of the Red Devils with 2 games to go. It is over, and we have done it. So, following game, Sheffield United. You know, I mentioned before, like people ask me sometimes, you know, how do you play every game? How do you stay motivated to play every game? At this point, I'm sure some people would think, oh, well, you know, why not simulate? You know, you've got 2 games to go. And, you know, sometimes I will. Like, sometimes I will. But I was going to play these final 2 games for, well, a few reasons, really. The first game because it's our final home game of the season, and therefore we'll see the trophy celebrations. But also because we've got some individual statistics to worry about. Alexander Isak going for the golden boot and the assist title. Moussa Diaby also has a chance to win the assist title as well, as he bags his 15th of the year to make it 1-0. So, yeah, you know, I mention it a lot. Like, I don't like gatekeeping in any community. You know, I feel as though you should play the game however you want to play it. You know, you spent your hard-earned money on the game. Listen, you play the game however you want. If you want to manage PSG, Manchester City, or Real Madrid, and literally dominate from the offset, spend £500 million on assembling a super squad, do it. Like, do you know, if that's what you want to do it. Like, you work hard, you study hard, you spent your hard-earned money on the game. You play the game however you want. If you want to simulate most of the season, you go ahead. Like, seriously, don't let anyone tell you can't. It's your game that you spent your hard-earned money on, and you get to spend your limited free time on. You play the game however you want. For me, I prefer playing practically all the games though, every single save I do. I just feel as though it's a good way to get myself immersed in the save really, because as I mentioned before, managers, they don't really take a game off, to be honest, unless it's for special circumstances. But even so, we took on the Blades, and I was looking to lift the title in this game anyway, and I wanted a big win as well for my final game at St James's. Final game, the Magpies favourable the Toon Army. Is that the first time I said Toon Army in this? The first time the Toon Army so the final time the Toon Army can send us off before that Champions League final against Napoli, and we were absolutely dominant in this game. We were leading by 4-0, and I was having a bit of fun at this point. 10 minutes to go. Oh, some of the goals I've scored this season, man. Absolutely beautiful. Guimar Reyes on the chest, volley 180 spin into the RB with the first time weaker right foot volley past West Foderingham. How nice was that? For his hat-trick as Isak bagged a brace as well. Some of the goals I've scored this season, and I know I sound a bit arrogant when I'm saying this, I really don't want to sound arrogant, but I can't help it. I feel as though this has probably been my best season in FIFA 23 in any career mode save I've done for nice goals. Like, some of the goals have been just beautiful to watch, man, they really have. And that put the icing on the cherry on the cake, as I used to say. And yes, I understand I'm saying it wrong, that was a joke. But even so, icing on the cherry on the cake as we win by 5-0 in our final home game and get to send off, they get the Toon Army to send us off to that Champions League final with a big win and the Premier League trophy being lifted as well. So job done. I said this season I wanted to win the Premier League. Yeah, of course I want to retain the FA Cup. Yeah, of course I want to go as far as I can in the Champions League as well. To me, the big aim this year was win the Premier League. Everything else was secondary. We were in a title race for the majority of the season last year. Then it got ended with about 3 or 4 games to go due to a loss against Chelsea at home. This year, I wanted to win it. Not just be in a race, but win it, and we do. Trips lifts it aloft. And to be fair, when you look at the team we've got here as well, it's not a real surprise that we are champions. We've got such an amazing team. Like, seriously, it's just an incredible team. I love the fact we've kept most of the Newcastle core here. We've still got Trips, the captain, Joel Linton, Guimar Reyes, Sven Botman, Pope between the sticks, Isak leading the line, St Maximin on the left. It's great to Tonali, of course. It's great to have kept most of the core here. But when you talk about the investment, we've also invested really well as well. Diaby coming in has been sensational this year with 17 goals in the Premier League. Obviously Tierney, who came at left back, has been really solid for us as well. Also, we brought in João Palhinha this year to convert him to CB. He's done really well too. This is an amazing Newcastle team. We've really strengthened our first 11, and it's no surprise we're champions. I wouldn't necessarily say we've got the best team in the league, but it's definitely one of the best. So no surprise we're champions, and we do get it done with the win there against Wolves and celebrate with a big win against the Blades. So the final game of the season was Stoke City away. Heading into this game here, newly promoted Stoke City, rock bottom of the table, already relegated, only 16 points all season long, guaranteed to be going down, nothing to play for. Final game of the season, and I just threw out a backup side out there, threw out one of my weakest sides possible heading into the game. Gave Tim Krul his first appearance in the Newcastle shirt since leaving to Norwich all those years ago, and the good goals continued. Oh yeah, Elliot Anderson fires home his first of the season after a lovely flick by Anthony Gordon. 6 minutes in, we lead by a goal. The youngster at the academy with the opener, 1-0 Newcastle, and our backup team, well, sadly couldn't keep a clean sheet. I was actually really shocked when this goal went in. I had to show you this on the replay because Powell goes for goal just outside the area, and I was like, how did Tim Krul get beaten from there? Like, that was not a great attempt, but when I saw it on the replay, I saw the reason why. It took a big deflection, to be fair, and the spin on that ball was unbelievable. Just creeps into the bottom corner there. I guess I can't be too critical of Tim Krul. So yeah, 1-1, Stoke back on their old terms, but later on in the game, we would find surely the winning goal. Rasmus Christensen makes it 2-1. We are in front for the second time in the game, and in stoppage time, closing the season out with a win with a weak lineup. Adam Armstrong gets a goal. The lad born in Newcastle returning this year gets just his second goal of the season in all competitions and wraps up the 3 points. Celebrations a little bit too much though, don't you think? I mean, this is one of those moments where I talk about it a lot. Specific celebrations, situation specific celebrations. We need more of that. Why are we going ballistic? It's a dagger with basically the final kick of the game on the final day, where there was nothing at stake. We were already champions. We couldn't set a points record or anything, and we're taking on Stoke, who are rock bottom. They've got nothing to play for. They've guaranteed a 16th place finish. So why Lewis Baker is sitting there having existential crisis, I don't know. And we're going ballistic and then doing a huddle at the full-time whistle. Why? Why? What's the point? Like, seriously. But anyway, there we go. Final Premier League table. Us top by 10 points. 98 points for the season. The Red Devils in second. Spurs third. Aston Villa did finish in fourth in the end, as Man City missed out of the Champions League. So us, the Red Devils, Spurs and Aston Villa in next year's Champions League. Look at this though, Chelsea and Arsenal, both teams missing out of a European place in 8th and 9th place this season, and the bottom 3 was already confirmed quite a while ago as well. Nottingham Forest, Leicester, and also Stoke City, who we just beat on the final day, rock bottom with 16 points. Heung-min Son won the Golden Boot with 34. Alexander Isak once again finishes runners-up with 30. Diaby in the top 10 though, with 17 goals, really nice to see. And also Max Firmino as well in the top 20 with 11. Isak did win the Golden Boot, the assist title, back to back with 17 this season, 4 fewer than last year, and Nick Pope did win the Golden Glove, hence why I was able to rest him on the final day with 18 this season. So that will do it. The Premier League is in the bag, 1 down, 1 to go, and whilst the treble dreams ended at Wembley, we still have a chance at Newcastle's first ever Champions League. Yep, we will take on Napoli in the Champions League final as we face the old Italian giants, going for our first ever Champions League and a double in Season 2. But that will end today's episode of the Newcastle United Crew, guys. Big fan of watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you had, please like. Most of you all have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the season finale, the Champions League final against Napoli, very soon.